Today, be careful. It's too hot. Today, be careful. It's too hot. Today, be careful. It's too hot.
Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Today is Friday, so let's see what the market has for us. All right, dollar index is dollar index is stuck in a range, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I like what I'm seeing here. We actually formed a high in London above previous day's high, so that's good. Oh, I didn't touch what I wanted. Let's see the British pound. Okay. Let's go to the 5 minutes chart. I'm trying to see if I can get a scalp this morning. Gold, let's see on the H4. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking for. This, I think, is a pullback, and I'm looking to see where it's likely to reverse from. So I'm looking at the range, and I'm looking in discount to see what kind of level is available down here. So we do have this low and that low with a small little gap in here. So I think I like this one. I like that gap. Maybe New York session, if we do get there, I might be interested in. Depends on what time we get there. I might be interested in buying that. This one is a missed trade. Yesterday we showed up in here, and if you remember the favor, I intentionally didn't post the chart. I wanted you guys to go and look at it. So this was the fair value gap that I said it can reach for. I was anticipating a buy there, and the buy is actually based off from what we talked about on when we had our live session, I think on Wednesday or Tuesday. Right, when we had our live session on Tuesday or Wednesday, and we talked about why price reacted from here, and Y price reacted from here. So the same logic as Y price was going to react in here, but it didn't quite get there. So that level to me is still valid, right? If we come back in future, it might not offer this kind of buy, right? But it will offer something. Okay, so keep that level on your chart, this fair value gap here. But when we are coming back down, maybe we will be coming down to go and attack the low, so it will just give you some form of a retracement. So as it's coming down, you can look at something like this. Say, I don't know where it's going to reverse, maybe up here. So if it does reverse from there and it's coming down, this might be something, right, to that might unfold. Okay, so look at this for future price action. I was going to buy here today. If we did trade to that, I would have bought there today, but as usual, it's always going to use some form of manipulation, because there's no level in here apart from this breaker. There's nothing in here, and then the gap on the H4. We move all this drawing. There's a small little gap right here. Unless I zoom in, you will see it. Actually, let me turn on my fair value gap, because that will point it out to you. Not that one. There you go. Notice that little green shaded area. That was that fair value gap, right? And it hit the down candle. But inside this, the gap within that is what I'm interested in, which is that one. Okay, so we are above this high, which is yesterday's high.
Daddy.
Okay, sorry for that. You know the business. He's going to keep coming, so it's not the end. So you have to get used to it. All right. Today is Friday, and they've gone above this high, right? It's a daily high, and it's still landing, and they've rallied like that. Usually that can cause a reversal. Okay, so if you look up here, there's a small little gap up there. You're watching that to see if it will give a rejection, because it's 9:30. We've not gone anywhere, and it's going up like that above this high. So look at this range. And then look at that as a pullback, right? So that would be an interesting area as price is going up there. Right there, that'll be 618, right? So let's see if we start getting any reaction in there, and that will be interesting. Who moved it? I don't know who moved it. Alright, like I said, I like this swing high that has been formed on the dollar index. So let's see some of the majors and see if there's any that might offer a buy. Obviously euro did, but it's moved away already. If you're not scared, you can buy that candle and leave your stop loss. Let me go to the daily and see if it did take out the previous day low. Yeah, it did. So it took out the previous day's low, so you can leave your stop there and then attack this high here. Attack this high here. Okay, it's just a scalp, or wait for it to pull back into that and then attack it. So you have a choice whether to go long right, not, yeah, that's equal. We also have that or you can wait for it to pull back here and attack that same level. Right, attack that same level. So it's up to you which one you want to go for. Okay, which one do I prefer? I'll do both. If I was going to take it, I'll do both. I'll take half of the position here, I'll take half of the position here, and then half of the position here. When are they going to reopen school? Okay, because this guy needs to go back to school. He stayed home enough. Okay, we've seen some reaction off from that 15-minute gap. So I would love to see this one hit that level and then start giving some form of a rejection. So I want to see this hit that level and then it starts giving some rejection. Then we go on to the pound and then we start looking for a reversal. You can take, a buy because we are here and leave the stop below that, right? Or you can wait for price to give the reaction, right? It's entirely up to you. I like the way it's going up. It's really nice. We have the consolidation, accumulation. So let's see. Let's go back to gold. Okay, gold has hit the 618. Now that straight away, if you are OTE trader, you can't go long here and anticipate price coming up here. Alright, but if you want confirmation, then you have to wait and see some reaction or breaking structure, something like that, and then you can take a buy. Now let's classify why let's classify why I'm looking at the buy. According to ICT, when the day opens, okay, when the day opens between 7 and 9, right, the market is gonna manipulate. That's London session, right? The market is gonna manipulate. So if we are manipulating to the downside, then there's a high probability it's going to be an up day. And then if we are manipulating to the upside, there's a high probability it's going to be a down day, right? So because they are manipulating to the downside, because they've cleaned out Asian high and then they've cleaned out Asian low, so they've now come down to clean out Asian low in London. So if I'm going to buy, it's a high probability buy, especially if we combine the fact that we are inside the dealing range here, right? Like for example, yesterday, right, they manipulated to the upside first, right? That's an indication that there's a high probability it's going to be a down day. Okay, here they manipulated up and then down, and then we ended up an up day. This was just a dead day, Monday. We don't like that price action. But where they manipulate first, it is usually going to be the opposite. So they are manipulating to the downside, right? So I'm looking down here to see where price is going to reverse. The same thing applies to this one, as they are manipulating. There's no manipulation to the downside, if you've noticed. Okay, so this whole move, in my opinion, unless there's any news event, which I've not checked, let me double check if there was any news event, because it could be news event. There's no news event, so that is normal price action. So if it's normal price action, then that's what comes into my mind. I'm thinking that's manipulation. All right, so it might reject. So let's keep an eye on that level, and probably that might cause this one to now retrace back into that fair value gap. So if you bought it, no problem, but when that level hit, it might cause this to retrace. Let me go quickly over here and let's talk about Euro Aussie. Yesterday we were can you guys hear my son? Yesterday we were anticipating this. You can see I have lots of lines over here. That was where I think they were going to take price, and I was looking at this H4 candle at the time that it was trading to close above this high, and it didn't. And then during the Asian session, they did actually close. So that was a missed opportunity. It happened during the Asian session, so I think it's gonna trade up into that level. Right. So don't do anything with it. But what you can do is highlight this gap here for next week. If they close above that, right, next week I think they will trade up here, because that's a quarterly low and price has gone below it and is rejecting. Okay, that's a quarterly low and price is rejecting. So I'm not saying you should buy it, right? I'm saying today they might trade up in here, but for price to continue going up, first of all we need price to close above this imbalance. That's the first thing, and then obviously move into Monday, because even if we close this today, I wouldn't recommend buying today. You have to wait till Monday and look at how Monday is going to trade, because this will be your last This will be your last down candle on the daily, right? That will be your last down candle on the daily. So Monday, if Friday closes above this and then Monday we are up here, that gives a confirmation. Now when that happens, I believe they might leave some form of a gap down here. If they're able to close above that, they might leave some form of a gap down here, and Tuesday might retrace back into it, and then we start looking for some of these imbalances to be filled. Yesterday we talked about this being breakaway gaps, right? So those would be where we expect price to go and fill. If we do get the close above the down candle on the daily, then we are looking for higher prices. Okay, for now I think you're gonna trade to this level. All right, let's go back and see what's up. Okay, I'm gonna drop down to the 5. Let's see on the one now. We've not touched it yet. Let's quickly look at oil. Yesterday I liked what oil did. It actually broke down. So I'm looking for oil to drop. We had a break. I won't say a break, but it looks to me that we have a change in the state of delivery on oil. So what we are seeing today is actually like the retracement up to go down. Okay, so oil, I'm looking for price to go down. I think I should have come onto this one a little bit early. There was a gap in here, over here. Let me find it. Here we've traded 1, 2, 3, and then boom, with that big candle right there. That to me makes that area what ICT classify as a balanced price range. They've traded several times in that area. So now that we've had this big candle, trade through it again, to me that will cause that area to be resistance. So we should see price drop down today. Even if it goes up into OTE, I'll still expect them to drop down. Right, so even if it comes up here, I'll still expect it to drop down. How far? Just have to look up. We have to look for imbalances. So somewhere in here will be. Okay, so my bad, he came in again. I'm looking for it to drop. I think it reacted off from this range rather in here. So I'm expecting it to come all the way down somewhere here. Okay, that's where I'm expecting it to drop to. It might not happen today to get down here, but it can get to maybe here, or closing this void here for today, and then next week I'll expect them to continue. We actually traded to a level that we we identified in a group the other day. Remember, we talked about this being easy for price to run, and then I'll expect either a reversal from here or from there, right? And they've broken down here, so I expect it to continue going down. JPY futures, let's have a look. JPY futures, it's stuck in inside candles. I would have expected them to go up with that one, but because it's an inside candle, the only problem is price couldn't close above this down candle. Let me check the H4. Yes, long term is bearish. Yes, I agree. You can see my drawn liquidity. Long term is here, but we are in a dealing range, right? So that dealing range is not going to give up easily. So I'm respecting the fact that we have this, right? I'm expecting that, because if I say, okay, we are going down, and I stick with just down here, and it does something like that, I might get myself hurt. So yes, it's gonna go down, I agree. I think it's gonna go here, but I'm thinking it might come up first, right? I like this here, so I'm thinking it might come up a little bit up and then down. So that's why I'm respecting that area. Now we are going to go into September, which is a seasonal time of the year, and that seasonal time of the year, let's go and look at some of the actually the yen pairs. Let me look at the British pound first. Okay, I want to keep an eye on these. Let's go and look at some of the because I'm looking for some seasonal trade going into September. So the scenario that I'm showing you, right, has to do with price coming down to go up on the yen. So I'm looking for this down to go up, right? I'm looking for, we are in the last week of August. So between the last week of August and mid-September, there's a down and then up movement. This is the sell, right? That might happen here, right? It's all just forecasting, okay? I'm not saying that's what it's gonna do, but you know, that's how I look at price based on what I'm seeing. That's what, you know, I can come up with seasonal tendency in mind. Okay, so with seasonal tendency in mind and price action, we are in discount, but we are bearish, so there's a likelihood of price going up. And then seasonally, if price goes up, if price goes down on the yen pairs before going up, then that can be the probable scenario, right? So same thing here, last week of August to mid September, we go down, and then we go up, and then we go. This would be the one that we want to participate, but there's two of them. There's one and then two. Here there's one and then two. Okay, this one just continue going up in October. Usually there's a small pullback and then we continue going up. And I'll probably do going forward, we do Euro yen and pound yen. We will get rid of CAD yen, and if there's any seasonal trade, we will use just one of the yen pairs between Euro pound and pound yen. We will get rid of the others. Let's go back. So same thing here, right? September, we have two moves, 1, 2. Yeah, we'll keep EJ. We'll keep EJ and GJ, and then we get rid of everything else. You know why? Yesterday we did our confession, so it was a good confession. 2017 we didn't get that. So 2016, yeah, 2016 we did 1, 2. I think 2016 I participated in this one, but at the time I wasn't aware of anything called seasonal tendency. I was just trading weekly order blocks, right? That's when I discovered ICT, so I was trading weekly order blocks. So we traded to something over here. Yeah, and then we created an order block there. So I traded that to the upside without knowing seasonal tendency. So that's what I'm anticipating. So we might get a reaction from here down and then up, because it's bullish, so I think they might go and attack this. So the reason why I think here might react is because this week they are closing above this. They're closing above this, plus we have a rate on previous week low, so that gives us a, based on what I taught you in the channel, gives us an area to work with down here, right? So if they do hit that level and then it starts coming down, then we will use that seasonal move to buy to go back up to attack this. Okay, so that will go for all the other pairs. Oh wow, I missed that one too. Right, this is why our confession happened yesterday, right? That was the tape reading buy, and that's missed. Same thing, we might get a buy off from this one. Let's go and check. We've not touched the imbalance, so I don't think this is a sell yet. I think it might go one more time. Okay, anytime I pause it, just know that they can enter the room. Alright, so as I was saying, we did not touch that level yet, so I don't see this one as a sell yet. I want to see them run one more time and then down. That's what I'll be interested in. Okay, let me go back to the high time frame and see if they did hit OTE. Oh, they haven't, so it's still there, so you will see. This one I don't like it because of this equal low, but it's trading at a level that if you want to buy, you can. Right, it's trading at a level that if you want to buy, you can. I just don't like trading when we have such equal lows. So it's up to you. I like, right, we have manipulation to the downside, so it can cause price to go up. Okay, it will probably catch up with what this bad boy has done. And you know, don't take everything that I'm talking about, because you can't take everything. Just don't take everything. The New Zealand and Aussie, they are currently being held, especially the New Zealand. I was looking at the Aussie New Zealand early hours this morning, and I saw that they've taken it way past where I was, or where I anticipated. I was looking for them to reverse from here, but I haven't looked at it in a while. I was looking for them to reverse up there, because I looked at this, so I was looking for a reversal. I did react 2 times, but I couldn't break market structure, so they've taken it up. That's why there's weakness in New Zealand and strength in the Aussie, and that gave that NZD card trade a really nice push to the downside, which we talked about yesterday, right? Yesterday we had a long discussion about why they should drop down. So let's actually look into it, because the time that it gave the trade opportunity wasn't the best time of the day. Right here, that was the time that it gave the trade opportunity, which happened to be at 6:45. Now I'm not trading at that time, but yeah, that's the only opportunity it gave. Remember, we talked about this candle, this last up candle here, that we want to see price trade through that before I'll be interested, and they did that in New York session, and it pulled back and then down. So I think it's gonna attack this. We do have a nice fair value gap over here. Since it's London and they traded down, okay, it's London and they traded down, that's not good, right? Why is it not good? Because we should have gone up to go down, like here, gone up to go down. So that gives a hint that New York session might offer the trade to come down here. So wherever price will be in New York session, right, you don't have to do anything now. Just know that there's equal low, price is gonna take it, right? And then sit on your hands and wait till 1, between 12:30 and 1, come back and see where price will be, because I can tell you it might reverse from here and it might go through that. Okay, so wait till 12:30 to 1 my time, and then sit in front of the screen and see where price will be at the time. If they hit this and go down, no problem, because that's where it's going. But if they don't get there by that time, right, then that gives you something to work with, and wherever price will be, you know what to do. When I say you know what to do, maybe it might have taken out a high and then it's rejecting, or it might trade to this high to this low, that OTE, and then it might be coming back down. So it has to depend on what price is actually doing at the time that you sit in front of the screen. Okay, EJ did hit. Let's go and look. Okay, that's why. Okay, that's still fine. It's still okay. On the 15 minutes, we have a down candle here. It's not ready yet. Okay, it's not ready yet. If they close, if they go below this, yes, we can start looking to sell, but it's not ready yet. All right. Again, it's going to be, you know, the kind of trader you are. Like I said last week, as it hits that, you can sell with a big stop loss. Okay, you can sell with a big stop loss, or wait till price gives you a confirmation that we're gonna actually go down before you start looking into it. Look at the British pound. I think let's look at the dollar index first. Okay, dollar index also traded into that, but you know, I don't care where it traded to. I just like the fact that it formed that above this previous day's high. So yeah, that euro is, you know, I don't think you should chase it, right? It's too late. It's too late to chase that. If you didn't buy it, as I mentioned it, it's too late to chase that. I like the gap that is leaving. So maybe New York session. Okay, maybe New York session might give the retracement, and then we look for the buy like that. Look at Aussie. I think they're gonna hold Aussie, and let's look on that one. I think they're gonna hold these two pairs. They're gonna hold these two pairs and move this. Move these two. Why am I saying that? It's because the these bad boys. I'm going to check this again. These bad boys have dropped down significantly, that they are going to need to retrace. So, you know, I don't want to bring them up, but if you check the GBP AUD, right, this one needs rehealing. It needs to be healed, right, because it's dropped down too much. And today is Friday, right? We've dropped down too much. Today is Friday, so it needs some love. So if they hold the Aussie and take pound up, then this one might come back into a pullback. All right. Same thing with GBP NZD. that actually is in already a pullback. So that will be okay. That's something for next week. I like that. That will be something for next week. Looking for price to come and attack these lows. Let's go to the daily. I think it'll go one more time up before down. Yeah, I think it'll go one more time up before down. Okay, so if you are not in our Discord, you will not understand this conversation. But for those of you in our Discord, this is why I find it hard to stay away from the conversation that we had, right? This trade here, that is a perfect trade. Now seeing that here, right, I'm thinking I should have been in that one, right? I should have been in that one. So this is why it's when I see things like this, I'm thinking, man, why would you want to trade just 2 pairs, right? When these, how many pips is that? That's over 212 pips. Let me see. Maybe I would have held it. I will still be holding onto that one. You see my you see the Euro Aussie trade that I took, right? That was on a Friday. And then you hold on to it. But it is what it is. Okay, British pound is breaking, so that's looking good. Euro is running for that. Let's look at gold. Gold is also rejecting. Not so much. Yesterday this one didn't reach my target. It came back and stopped me out. Right. Almost got there. I think I was looking for perfection. In here. I should have closed out. Came back and hunted me there and then rejected. Let's look into that. Let's go to the H4. If you look at the lesson that I gave on how to anticipate stop rate, this is one of them. Let's go to 1 hour so you can see this low and that low. Alright, makes this low a strong low. Hence, if price goes below and rejects, that can offer you a buy. But again, time of the day, not good. Go back to the H4 so you can see this low and that low. That was the advanced version, which I didn't talk about. I'm still not talking about it. I'm just showing you why price reversed from here. Right, we had this one and that one, and then price rejected. Okay, so if it did happen during a good time of the day, then this would have been a nice buy, right? But it didn't. So it's just for learning experience. All right, let's go back to the pound. I think I will bet my farm on this one because I've missed on all the other trades, so I'm gonna bet the farm on this one. I just need it to give me what I'm looking for. Okay, any question, any pair? Nasdaq, someone was saying, I learned a lesson on NAS today. Power of 3 into tap and drop into my mat out gap CE. Okay, I didn't get that, so you need to send me a chart. Let's have a look at NAS. I know I was anticipating OTE to go up yesterday. It actually did. This low to the high. Yeah, I was looking for OTE here, and they respected the 50% and then just rallied. So today, what should actually happen? So we have this high here, and made a new high here. This low, and we made another high here on that low, but it looks like this. So here, where is it gonna go? I think we have this old low here. You might not get that all this week, but you can look for something like that. Now, I was going to get rid of everything. If you look on the weekly, if you look at the weekly, right, we took our previous week high. So this is just a pullback. It's not reversing, it's a pullback. So 50% of that range should be it here. And you can then start looking for sales up in the OTA area. This is why I think next week there. My bad, guys. I just woke up, right? I woke up and straight away I just jumped onto the charts. So I'm still in a drowsy state. we took out this low, so I think it's coming back, right? So 50% will be ideal target, okay? And then up here you start looking for price to reject and go down. And I think, you know, the potential scenario for next week, it'll be either midweek reversal or a Tuesday reversal. So we might get today to go up, and then Monday, Tuesday form high of the week, and then come back down again. Okay. One that doesn't show you daily gaps. If there's a gap, it will be on the what's Nasdaq? Yeah, Nasdaq. What's Nasdaq? It's Nasdaq. What's the symbol for Nasdaq? That's what I was NQ. No, I'm talking about the futures itself. Yeah, the 50% is right there. So that's a very strong one. So I think 50% is enough. I don't think they might come up here because it's a very strong one. I like the fact that we also have this one here. Right, so that is a gap, and then volume imbalance. So I think they might reverse from here, but today it might drive up into that. So keep an eye on that level. We will keep an eye on it, right, for the Discord. If you like trading it, we will keep an eye on it, and we will obviously, I will not trade it, but I'll show you what to do, and then you trade it if you want to. Okay, let me go and check the pound. Okay, cool. Volume imbalance are strong. Volume imbalances are very strong. If I see a gap, like this, and I see this one, I'll trade this one. Yeah, I'll trade this one more than this. If I was to trade one of them, I'll trade the volume imbalance. Okay, yesterday I was looking at a video that I did on my YouTube channel, I think over a year ago, and I did it nighttime. it was around 1 a.m. and I was trading gold, and I was using market structure and PD arrays to do that. And let me touch on that over here, because I was using that same understanding, right, to give you what I was looking at on this pair. Last week I touched, not last week, Wednesday I touched on market structure, right? And I told you about the retail side of market structure, right? It's the fact that it's retail doesn't mean it's not good. Okay, absolutely, it's great, because it's following some sort of a logic. Okay, so it's great. We have highs and lows forming in the market, which is undeniable, right? So we have this low, this high, this low. You cannot deny it, right? And then if you extend this high in time, based on what I taught you, right, we don't have a close here. This is the close, so this would be the break-in market structure. However, if price did touch something over here, if price touch weekly level, gap, or even a daily level, then this is enough. Okay, so sometimes people have that question: how do I which one do I consider, the close above the high or the wick? The wick will be considered if we are coming off from something like this. Okay, so you can consider the wick if you're coming from something like this. Now, why would you even consider it? Because on the lower time frame, it's not just a wick. So if it's coming off from a higher time frame level, then that lower time frame price action is enough to drop down to the 15. You can see on the 15 we actually closed above it. It's not a wick. So if it's coming off from a high time frame level, then it's okay. Okay, let's go back to the 1 hour. The reason why I'm using the 1 hour is because I love high time frame. So here this low and that high will be considered what? Based on the lesson that I gave: structure low, structure high, right? So for price to continue going up, we need to break this high. We need to close above that high, and we did that here. So we do have a structure high broken, confirmation of a continuation. So anything coming back down will be deemed as retracement. Okay, everything coming back down will be deemed as retracement. So that's what I saw yesterday that led me to give you this level as a buy. Now, why did I give that level? Because I was looking at the fact that we broke above this high here and we moved away from here. The question will be, why not here? Because the movement away from here is stronger than this one. If I had used that one, you would have got an entry if you were trading this, right? If I had used this one, you would have got an entry for OTE, right? But I used but I used this one because of the movement away from this level, right? So this was my structure low and this was my structure high. So buying in discount. So this is what I was doing. I'll find the date for those of you in the Discord. I'll find the date and show you. You can go and watch it. I was trading gold at midnight using this. So this range here, you want to highlight this area and that area. So this would be your premium, this would be your discount. So inside discount, what level can price reach for, right? What PDRA or what level can price reach for? That auto block there. So that's why I gave you that auto block there to look for price to come to. So now that they've made a new high, remember I said it needs to close. We have the close here, not there. We have the close here. So now we have this range. Why this one? Because we have big move from here. You can use this one if you want. If you use this, you might catch an early entry. This would be premium. Can you? Okay, my bad. So in here, right, that's premium and that's discount. So we can get some kind of a level down here. So I'm gonna drop down to the 15 minutes, and we do have this old low in here, right, which is where the 618 is. And we also had a fair value gap that has not been closed in, so that can still be reused here. Now because it's in premium, can you sell short? Yes. I don't encourage over trading, but you can sell if you traces to that, but it's counter trend, so you just need to be careful, right? And then you buy to continue going up by using the market structure lesson that I gave yesterday on Wednesday, right? Because market is making highs and then the lows are being intact. So anytime it drops down into the range, you want to highlight where it can reject, and then you want to wait for price to get there and then you buy. Okay, let's go back and look at pound. There we go. British pound flew. Okay, that one is not going up. No problem. Let's look at. We'll do this in the Discord after the live session. Okay, we'll do this in the Discord after the live session. So after this, for those of you in the Discord, meet me in the Discord and let's talk about what just happened here. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna retrace. That's easy money. Pound, easy money. I still think it's gonna go for that high. Right, yesterday they reacted up from 618, went up, came back down. Right now reacting up from 70.5 and then up. Let's go into why I think, or why I was thinking the way I was thinking, because it might sound a little bit I would say irrational. It might look like I don't see dollar being bullish. I do see dollar being bullish, right? But one thing that you need to consider is there are some price action that when you see, you have to put certain things aside. Okay, this candle here, right, and the time of the day it happened, it's not something you want to ignore. See if I can find another one. Right, this candle here and the time it formed is not something to ignore. Let me see if I can find another one. This candle here and the time it formed is not something you want to ignore. This candle here and the time it formed is not something to ignore. What am I showing you? I'm showing you the change in trend, right? The change in trend always comes in with aggressive, because it has to be. Okay. The reason why it has to be aggressive is because it's like there's a force. Let's say there's a force pushing price up. So as price is going up, there's a force that is pushing it, right? So for price to go down, there has to be a force stronger than the force pushing price up to push it down. And in my days of doing supply and demand, right, I came across one instructor that talked about, he used some scientific explanation, which is I can't remember exactly how he said it, but an object in motion will remain in motion until it comes into he said an object in motion will remain in motion until it comes into contact with a greater, something along that line. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, it says an object an object at rest will stay at rest. An object in motion will stay in motion at constant velocity unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Okay, so that's, I think, Newton's first law. And that's it. Yes, Newton's first law, exactly. So think about that here. So an object in motion will stay in motion until acted upon by, let me go and see it again so I can remember, until acted upon by unbalanced force. So until it comes into a level that the force is stronger than what is pushing price up, it's gonna keep going up. So when this unbalanced force, right, creates price to the opposite direction, it has to be, the force has to be greater than the one that was coming up here to change the flow to the downside, right? So anytime price is going in a specific direction and then you see that force push price away from this movement here, then you are looking at a reversal. So even with what I saw this morning, right, why did I say that the dollar index was dropping? It's because I applied that same thing but on a lower time frame basis. So if you drop down to the 5, you see that we were going up, and then look at that candle. Okay, that big candle right there, that's the same thing like on the H4, like this one here. So it's the same thing, but because this was just going up into some form of a retracement, same thing here, right, going up, and then big force changes, that's a sell. Going up, big force changes, that's a sell, right? So that's why we're looking for price to reject, and that's why British pound went up. So same thing here. That's why I was, saying that I don't think price is gonna come down. I think it's gonna go up because price met with a different force over here. Now when that force takes control, okay, when that force takes control, it's gonna stay in control until the opposite happens. So this candle here is gonna stay in control until we get something like this, right? So think about that. I know I'm giving you guys a lot today because we are almost done with YouTube. We are almost done with YouTube, so that's my gift for you guys. It's not a gift. If you've learned ICT enough, you should know this anyway. But maybe I'm breaking it down in a way that will kind of make sense to you. When price is going in a direction, right, there's always going to be that one candle that pops its head somewhere that will tell you that this looks different. Okay, there's always going to be that one candle that pops its head out. And I think you've seen ICT uploading the mentorship on YouTube, right? I'll cancel you to watch. Let me see which one, because he did show it. Let me go, because I've subscribed. I'm a subscriber to ICT. Okay, watch the lesson. Let me see if it's this one here. watch the lesson month 1, what to focus on. Okay, so watch lesson month 1, what to focus on. All right, lesson number, I think 3 or 2, but the title is what to focus on right now. And on minute number, just go forward to 18 minutes. Okay, go forward to 18 minutes into that lesson, and then you don't have to watch it. Just scroll through what he has pointed out. Why am I even worrying myself? Let's do it together, because I want to bless you guys today. Let's go to over here. There you go. I'm doing all the work for you guys. Right here, can you guys see it? Over here where he has highlighted speed, right? And I didn't understand this. Okay, I didn't understand it. It's the first time I went through. I had to go through all the mentorship, and after going through all the mentorship, and then I started doing studies, because he obviously talked about it late, but he did show it, but he just didn't talk about it. So this, where he has highlighted as speed, right? The exercise was to go and find them wherever you see speed, big range candles. So in my learning and in my trying to understand more about price, look at the range, right? From this high, look at the range from this high. I hope you can see my cursor. From that high to this low, this is on the H4. Look at the range from this high to this low. What initiated the sell is this speed, because price was going up here, right? And then this speed, it came back to that same area there, and then there was another speed, right? Look at this low and look at that high. What is here? That's another speed. Okay, so this high to this low back to here, definitely that's OTE, and this is a change. That candle is different. It's not different because it's an abnormal candle. It's different because it traded to something, and that was the reaction of that something that it traded to, right? So it has to trade to something, and then once it trades to something and it gives you that reaction, you have to stay with that direction, because that's an indication that price is not willing to go down. So anything coming back down is going to be what? A pullback. But it's the application of it. You have to know how to blend it with the other time frames. That's where it becomes a little bit challenging, by blending it with the other time frames, because this is on a H4, right? This one might be on a daily or on a weekly time frame, right? So it's the blending of the time frames that will show you that it's important or not. Okay, but you can go and watch that lesson. Very, very good lesson. Month 1, what to focus on. and let's move back to the charts. Okay, so that's why I did not believe that price was gonna come down, right? This to me, it's a pullback and it's going to go up and attack this high. That's me. Okay, you don't have to believe it, you just have to see it, and then once it happens, then you can make your own conclusion. Let's go and look at this. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, I need to stop doing these live sessions because I'm missing out. I missed out on the lower time frame anyway, but it's cool. You guys owe me. You owe me. You owe me. I like that auto block there. Switch to British pound, and then off we went. Okay, I think that's it from me for today. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go and find something to eat because I'm hungry. I haven't had my breakfast yet, but I think I've given you enough for today, so you guys can go home happy today. All right, so enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your weekend, and we will have our last, let me check the date. Yes, we will have our last we'll have our last YouTube session on Wednesday. Okay, and then from Wednesday, that's it, no more YouTube. And yeah, I'll make the announcement for those in the YouTube today. I'll send the announcement today because this weekend everybody's getting out. Someone did request for my fib settings. Sorry, I overlooked. This is my fib settings. It's the normal fib settings, nothing sophisticated, but I do have lots of fib settings for different purposes. Okie dokie. All right, so enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next week Wednesday. Okay, and I'm gonna share for the last time, even though you're gonna be removed today, over the weekend, I'm gonna share it in case, just in case you are not in there and you want to be, just for today, right? There's the link, you can join, and then we'll see what happens. So that's it. Take care, and I'll see you guys. Peace.